My name's Tim Smith. I'm the Sales Director at Digital Shield, which is a subsidiary of the Cloud Crew who provides managed services and software and licensing to a number of customers in South Africa. Well, I am a seasoned cybersecurity professional. I've worked with a number of international vendors across endpoint antivirus, email security, and that led me to the position that I'm in now. The Cloud Crew is a long-standing South African entity based out of Cape Town, focusing predominantly on the mid-market segment of the South African commercial market, as well as a select few key and strategic accounts across hospitality, retail and medical as well. The organization were two separate entities, one largely focusing on networking and capabilities around that aspect, and then the other was a company focusing on cybersecurity software services. Think Microsoft, think Mimecast, and a number of other key security technologies. Yeah, so Digital Shield, interestingly enough, is a cybersecurity-focused or managed SOC offering that we're taking to market, underpinned largely by the Graylog technology. Well, the managed SOC offering is answering a question that customers have needed answered for a while. The reality is that organizations are realizing or have realized that cybersecurity and cyber threats are evolving at a rapid pace. They're becoming increasingly sophisticated and are causing significant damage in terms of brand reputation and all sorts of risks to their business. To combat that, they've invested in a number of technologies across things like endpoint security, EDR, firewalling, email security, identity and access management. But the problem they face is that despite these technology investments that they've made, they don't have visibility into what's happening into their environment all the time. The reality is that cyber criminals just simply don't sleep. They don't take time off. So the challenge that they have is having eyes on the data and having someone monitor their environment, for abnormalities or something that shouldn't be, that seems out of place. What led us to start looking at ingesting logs and starting a SIEM, ingesting logs from our customers, is that customers historically have had to go into different technologies to investigate breaches and incidents within their environment, and aggregating and collating the information in a central pane of glass, a single pane of glass rather, is what customers wanted and what's good for our business model. So getting all of the data in, parsing the data, normalizing the data and surfacing what's relevant, that was the most important aspect for us. I think we've considered multiple vendors. If you think about the QRadar, Splunk, Elastic, or just to name a few that we've considered in the past. But I think ultimately we came back to Graylog being the choice for us. We chose Graylog over some of the competitors that we've named, largely because of the experience that we've had with Graylog. We thoroughly enjoyed working with the Graylog team, who treated us like a bespoke customer that we were. They were committed to helping us shape out a solution that will make sense to our customers, the end customers, as well as a managed service focusing on cybersecurity. That's a good question. I think in South Africa, and especially the customers that we work with, there are some there's data sovereignty requirements in terms of keeping the data within the confines of South Africa, and that was largely one of the decisions that we had to make, is having a commercial model for our customers that satisfied that requirement. That's the conundrum with SIEM and SOC. The end goal is, or the hope is, to take everything into a SIEM offering or a SOC offering, but the reality is, in most cases, customers and organizations have to make a trade-off and have to decide what's worth ingesting and what isn't. What we've able to achieve with the implementation of Graylog in our system is to be able to ingest significantly more logs into our platform, which just enriches the service we're able to offer our customers as well. The partnership has grown, it's developed, and it is one that we've enjoyed. Is maybe a word that I'd use. I think when we started out with Graylog, historically it was the open, and I think that's where most of the organizations will start, is experiencing the community edition. But you quickly realize that you want access to some professional services around the technology. You need that hand-holding approach to ultimately get the value of the more advanced bundles and service SKUs of Graylog, namely the enterprise and security. So as we were evolving this offering to market, we realized that we needed some of the capabilities of the security aspect of Graylog, and when we engaged with the Graylog team, we just thoroughly enjoyed that experience of them helping us shape out our value proposition to the market. Well, in terms of the differentiators and the value that we derive from Graylog and implementing the security service, a couple of things stand out. The first is that we very easily are able to give our customers access to the data. This is a huge differentiator for us. Many organizations, want access to the data when they implement a managed SOC with perhaps another organization, and one of the challenges they have is they don't have access to the data to do their own investigation. Should they wish. So that was a big decision making, for us. We're a managed SOC offering, so we do a lot of the heavy lifting for our customers. We work in partnership with our customers, but I do think that some of the out-of-the-box integrations that we have, for example, the FortiSOAR, Illuminate, the Microsoft 365, the Illuminate packs within the Graylog security offering, allows us to surface quite easily the anomalies, and pass the data quite easily within our offering. I think one other thing that stands out to us is that legacy and alternative SIEMs don't necessarily offer the customer the ability to ingest a deeper level of logging that we believe is necessary in the process of triaging and event management. And ultimately what I mean by that is being able to take info level logs, for example, from a firewall. You don't want to depend only on the technology telling you what's bad. You want the full picture for the environment. So what we're able to do with what we shaped out for Graylog is ingest that level deeper in terms of logging, and that's info level logs where necessary. The Illuminate packs and the anomaly detectors are something that natively works right off the bat, and I think that that was important for us to use. The ability to host in country was something that was important in the decision making for our customers who want data to be housed locally, and the issue of data sovereignty comes up. So yeah, I think those are some of the reasons. In terms of data enrichment, we're able to do some incredible things with the logs that are being passed through the Graylog platform. For example, we're able to enrich the logs through, against threat feeds itself. We're able to enrich the logs with information that we want to put, like location of offices, working hours that have been agreed, for change control within, a customer's environment. So we're really able to enrich the logs significantly more so than perhaps elsewhere. Well, yeah, I think customers have saved, hundreds of hours by not having to manually triage themselves. In fact, they leave that for our security operations center to do the investigations and ultimately give them a report. One aspect that stands out for me is the visibility that you get within the Graylog security platform for things like mean time to detect, mean time to respond, the incident, the AR report generator is something that we use quite frequently, after an incident or during an incident rather, to summarize the findings and to communicate in plain text and plain English what the logs represent and help remediate that with our customers. I think that comes back to the support that we've received from the Graylog team, who have walked us through the journey of experiencing all of the capabilities that Graylog has to offer. When organizations adopt a SOC, it is a journey that we intend working with our customers. So you don't have to commit to everything right off the bat. We walk a journey with our customers by, building out and shaping out what the future looks like for them. So as we become more integrated with the customers, we add more value. We do expect to have Graylog alongside us in that journey, ultimately for the logging. The roadmap items that were shared and the thoughts that were covered and the discussions that had taken place were just valuable all round.